I'll explain it according to compensatory counter-racist logic, which is what the book is about. I do it within that context, because everything in the book is about compensatory counter-racist logic, meaning the logic that is designed to help to replace racism with justice. See, we got to keep in mind what the book is about, what we're trying to do. Otherwise, we get lost. One thing that the book does not allow, that the concept does not allow me to do, and that is to personalize. See, what I do is go straight to the logic, because the logic takes care of everything, or doesn't take care of it if it's logical or whatever. It's either logical or it's not logical, and that will be proved by evidence. So therefore, if you personalize things, see, that makes for conflict and added controversy. That's something that you don't want. You're not looking for a fight. You already got that.
No.
See, we're looking for solutions to all the fighting that has been going on. Okay. Now, so we'll look at that. Now, I've been saying all along, making the slave ship analogy, because the system of white supremacy is a system of slavery, meaning people are forced to do things that they shouldn't be forced to do. That's all slavery is. Slavery never ended. If you are still mistreated on the basis of color, you are a slave. If you haven't figured out what to do about it and come out from under it. So that hasn't changed. It's just different forms, that's all. Some slaves are comfortable, some slaves are not. But you're still a slave to a system that shouldn't exist. Now, having nailed that down and getting to the point that you're making, now, if I'm a slave, which means I'm a prisoner, and one of the ladies, captain's ladies, one of the members of the ruling class, comes down the ladder and beds down with me because she takes a fancy to me personally, and even takes me up on deck and lets me waltz around and whatnot, and might even put some of the fine clothes that they have in their trunks back there, and I become a favorite. And because of, sexual considerations, what a lot of people call in a slang term, bed work, you say as well, I like the fella. And I think he should finish out the voyage, or wherever we're going, in my custody personally. Because that's a decision that she makes. In the system, in the slave system, in the slave ship system, see? She may not even like the system itself, but that's a personal matter. But the overall effect is that the slave becomes enamored of the benefits of this. That's what's really happening. Because the slave ship is still a slave ship. And the slave being brought up on deck and given a good bath and being given fancy clothes and allowed to walk around with the missus on the deck because she chose him. He didn't choose her. Black males do not choose white women. White women choose black males under the system of racism, even when it looks like it was the other way around. Because the system will decide, meaning collectively, the white supremacists decide who will be with whom, when, and where. And this is not a new phenomenon. It goes back even to the days that are, some people say the Roman Empire. Go down into the catacombs. Go down and find, the black male who today was going to go into the Colosseum and be fed to the lions. But one of the ladies of the palace spots him, looks him over. He's standing there naked. Takes a look at him, and measures him up with her eyes and says, "Aha, pick that one out for me. Come up to the palace. Have him up to the palace by noon. He's not going into the arena. He's not ever going into the arena. He's mine." What else is new? This is fine if it does anything about actually breaking down the system. But here's the overall effect. It gives the illusion that the system is breaking down. That's what it's been up to now. Now, it may reach a tipping point. Being realistic, being truthful, it may reach a tipping point where that's no longer the case, where the system really begins to erode because of that. And this is what the old Ku Klux Klansmen used to say. They said, oh yes, you can fool around like that for a little while, but you let it, just like you do in the schools, you let it get a little too far out of hand. You get a little too many black people and white people palling around with each other. Next thing you know, you got no more white supremacy. And we don't want that. These is what the people who are what you call old line Ku Klux Klanners, that's what they call themselves. This is what they have always said. They said it's okay to have some of this as long as you have it under your control. But there's a point that you might let it slip out of your control, and then